on a Friday edition, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm Alex Strouf with you from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Josh DiMaggio just walked into the control room. What happened there? Will Sommers is back. Full-time Will finally decided he's good enough to rejoin us since getting hired full-time. What's going on, Joshy? He just smacked my microphone. I don't know what's going on around here. All right, good to be back with you. Let's check in with Will. Will, where have you been?
Yeah, apparently if you skip 3 days during your when you take 3 days off during your first week as an employee.
Are you sure that was a slip of the tongue, or did you skip them?
No, I was on, it's summer. I took my days off. I did it the right way.
Okay.
But apparently you have to make up those training sessions, so I've been grinding away at those.
Did you have to submit PTO?
Yeah.
Oh, that stinks.
First week.
You don't think you could have been like, hey, can we just push back the start date a week?
I don't think that's how that works. Wasn't really up to me.
So you are now what? 2 weeks in?
Yeah, I might make it home for Christmas. We'll see.
So you have 10 work days, right? Am I doing the math here? Right?
I started halfway, so 7.
So, but there's
6.
been 10 possible work days.
Oh, yeah. 10 possible
of
days.
your full-time schedule, and you only work 6 of them?
Correct.
That's so cool.
That's tough.
That's
that's
so cool.
It's summer. What do you expect?
That's true. It's true. All right, Joshy DiMaggio, I think, is here and settled now. What's up, Joshy?
I was just really interested in talking about vacation time. Maybe we can tell them the app we use to submit time off too, if we want to bore people out of their skulls more.
He might have missed his training session on that.
How many sick days do you get when you have half?
I didn't ask him that. I was just confirming that he's
bereavement. Do you get those too?
That's dark. I'm just saying, for a guy that just graduated college, starting a job the week he's going on a family vacation just seems like odd timing. Like, why wouldn't he just ask, hey, can I start the next week?
I'm sure Will's parents, whom we've met,
yeah, lovely people,
took it under no consideration of what happens when Will turns full time. Why would they consider that when the planning vacation? It was probably planned way in advance.
Oh, I agree, but I'm saying why couldn't he just push back his start time a week? That's the question I'm asking. Because it just seems like that would be logical rather than making
Brian T and bring him in here, and he can answer that question for you. Or you could continue to bore me out of my skull.
I thought that was an interesting topic.
No, not at all.
All right, here we go. All right, well, we got to start with the story of the day, right? Like, there's no other place to start than the video that has taken the world by storm that I literally just can't get enough of. It is the astronomer CEO and the astronomer director of people, or I think is her title. It's effectively the director of HR. At a Coldplay concert in Boston. And Coldplay coming to Camp Randall Stadium in Madison tomorrow. And, you've all seen the video, but we can play it anyway. It's this couple that's not actually a couple. It's two people that work together, wrapped up in an awkward moment. Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, after they this dude jumps out of frame. He sits down or crawls to the floor. The woman turns around as they're wrapped in an embrace. The woman next to them turns redder than a tomato. Looks unhealthily sunburnt, but I think she's just blushing at this, what we now know is an affair. The CEO is married. I believe the director of people is divorced. Regardless, it's a no-no that it played out on a very public stage. And there's just so many things wrong with this video. The man falling to the floor. Here's where I stand on this. If you're going to go to public, which I assume is an 80,000 person venue, given that it's a concert, and expect to be in a private moment, in a private embrace with your mistress, and then you get put on the Jumbotron, the move is not to look guilty. Because this wouldn't have been a moment then. Nobody would see this video if they just embrace. People in the stadium might go, oh, I know who that is, and he's married and that's not her. That might still happen, but you might not get 150 million views on social media if you don't jump to the floor. And she turns around, turns her back to the camera. There's just so many messy things about this video. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I think you missed a crucial step.
Yeah.
Step one would be to not cheat on your wife.
Oh, yeah. I was going past that, just saying, hey, we're already here.
It's a baffling display because if you're being that public about your relationship, it's just the degree of brazenness of it to then be put on the Jumbotron, and then like cower and panic in a degree that you like is hard to fathom. It was shocking so much so that when I first saw it, I thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot at a lot of these
We have
arenas.
actors and kiss cams, right? Sure.
Right. And like it's this super overdone, over the top, and you're like, well, that can't be real. They lingered on that couple for really long. The one thing that kind of sold it was the woman next to them, who also seems to be under that woman.
I think she is the not director of people, manager of people, maybe.
She had
Vice
just been
President,
promoted like
VP
2 weeks before, too.
Maybe
I don't know if that's going to last real long.
Maybe there's a connection to her being next to those two in the promotion. Who knows? Who could say?
Could be anything.
But there's just a degree of the brazenness, as I said, and like, what did they think ducking was going to do? It was already on the screen. What's the best outcome for you there? That you move so fast, your face is blurred and people can't tell? I really want to know, when is the statement coming from the company? Because I've seen about a dozen fake versions.
Yeah, bad on me. Here, I got to take a little ownership here. I don't know if you heard this.
It was real?
I read it verbatim on the radio like it was real because it was being tweeted by actual like news publications. A lot of people got.
Here's the thing. I think we've learned in 2025 we shouldn't trust even some of the legacy media with what they put out there right away. We should wait till the smoke clears. And I mean, that statement was so over the top. He like was basically owning it in the statement. That's bad on you. I don't know what do they say now? And how much do they upset does everyone get removed from their position?
This might be one of the all-time PR debacles.
Yeah.
That, to the point where I think the answer is you can't release a statement until all three of them are gone. All of them need to be fired.
I think they all need to universally
resign.
Yes.
Yeah, it was probably the better
submit
word.
their resignations.
I mean, it's not like that guy's not well off. He's made a lot of.
Well, he's half as rich now.
Good point by you.
Uh-huh.
Good point by you. Yeah, my girlfriend told me this, and I don't know why she knows this. But thank God she does, and I don't even know if it's true. I haven't validated it, but I'm going to say this.
Good.
You're a
So
smart
we're
guy.
going to
You might
say it
know
on
this.
a show that lives permanently on the internet. Great.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me say it, and then you guys can refute or agree. So my girlfriend said, yeah, even if he has a prenup, usually in prenups, affairs are built in that the prenup is then void.
That is typically the case. Yes.
Okay. I don't know why she knows that.
I think it's just understanding how that, and there are previous cases.
Well, you got to understand something, that my girlfriend's never been married nor divorced.
Yes, but
She's just loading up for when you guys do. Got to get the prenup stuff.
I don't know how much either of them are going to be able to take from each other.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't get a prenup because neither of us have anything. We have a dog. You know?
Yeah, joint custody of the dog. But I would presume she knows that because she finds herself reading and ingesting a lot of the celebrity gossip. And that comes up probably pretty frequently.
That would make sense.
in that realm.
Yeah, I've got Love Island brain. I had a dream last night. I think I told you guys this. I had a dream last night that like my girlfriend broke up with me because I kissed somebody when we were talking, but not officially. And this didn't happen. When I started dating her, it was only her. But
if you were to power rank or determine who talks about their dreams more, you or Ben Brust?
Ooh, I'd say Brad Norton.
Because I've heard
Brad a lot.
I've heard on KBN and then on this program and then dating back to Scalzo and Brust, so much talk of your dreams.
Well, the thing about me is I don't remember most of my dreams. But what's been happening recently is I've been having dreams that blend reality. Now, this one didn't. I woke up and knew it was a dream. But I've told you this before. Like, I've been having work-related dreams a lot, and I'm not sure that those actually happen in real life or not. And that's been messing with me quite often.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, no, it's not. But it's okay. I feel good. I like my job. I like you guys. If I dream about you guys, it's usually a good thing.
Here's
Please don't dream
Back to
about me.
Coldplay. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm ready to move on from Coldplay, and I want to sort of turn it into a different conversation, and we could take this a couple of ways. If you could cheat on one of your favorite sports teams with another team, which one would you pick?
It's Wisconsin football. It's not close.
Yeah.
No way.
Hold on. This question's way better for Will. He's a Chicago sports fan.
Well, he wants to cheat on them all, I presume.
I'd probably cheat on the White Sox for the Cubs, to be honest. Just that's an easy switch.
That's
Same
illegal,
city?
isn't it?
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, wow.
That's like dating your girlfriend's twin sister.
At times, I'm kind of jealous of the culture, the Cubs culture. Yeah. Wrigley Field, they've been pretty good the past couple years.
I just did something on accident that I didn't realize I did.
Yeah, I was
you
just
have
gonna-
twin sisters, don't you?
I do have twin sisters.
Yeah, that's on me. My bad.
Wait, I didn't even hear what you said.
I said that's like going from one sister to their twin sister, and then I remembered you actually have twin sisters. So hand up, that's on me. That was an accident.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Seth in the YouTube chat says, "Is embracing like that technically an affair? Seems like you would have to prove more than that example." And then he goes on to say, not saying they haven't done way more, but just going based on having to prove something. I think the level of guilt that was provided in the 10-second video that's gone worldwide proves they've done more than that.
Yeah, this isn't proving a murder or anything like that, where cheating can be construed a lot of ways.
That's true.
And standing like that with someone who's not your wife would be determined.
I would say that's a little bit
like
across the line.
the burden of proof isn't like a criminal conviction. It's this appears to be, and then was reacted.
The reaction is, again, I think he might be able to get away with it if they don't react.
Well, because the video doesn't.
And he's just like, well, that's one of my best friends at work. We just they just got.
Nah, I don't know. Hands are on the way.
They started playing Yellow.
No.
It's our favorite song we listened to in the office together.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
I agree with you, Josh. But I'm saying, like, you have at least more of a reasonable explanation when you return home to your wife than, yeah, I hit the deck.
Yeah.
Also, as far as the proof
way he
goes,
went to
the
the floor.
wife changed her last name on social media. She had been
I did see
hyphenated,
that.
dropped the hyphen, and so there's some
Yeah, I
pretty
don't love
solid
how
proof
that
out here.
immediately results in her social media being swamped with. She didn't do anything.
No, that's
And the fact that people found her and were not tweeting at her, but messaging her, and
It's all bad.
she's gonna see it.
It's here's the alternate reality I'd like to know. If they did nothing, they just smiled, they said,
I bet the video exists on the internet, but the wife never comes across it.
So the part I struggle with there is he's like a well-known figure, right? He's a CEO. A lot of people know who he is. Now, granted, I imagine not a ton of people know who his wife is, but if they know who he is, they might also know who this is.
You also have to factor in how many people are paying attention at that exact moment from within the stadium, and how much are people going to watch that video to the conclusion if it's just acting normal.
Bad, I mean, Hunter, I don't know if we have the audio to this video, but Chris Martin is the true MVP here, the lead singer of Coldplay.
We do. I just started playing it with having a Coldplay song play underneath it. But I can
Okay,
get
so
the
I just
audio
want to
here
hear
in a
the
moment.
raw audio. I want to hear the raw audio. Watch the video one more time, and we'll stop talking about it. I'm going to be honest with you, guys, and this tells you a lot about my brain. I've had a hard time thinking about anything else the last 24 hours than this video. I've watched it 120 times, and I don't even think I'm exaggerating. It's the best viral video we've seen in a long time. Now, the other one that came out while we were on vacation was the golf course one, the golf course fight.
Bang.
With the former,
Bang.
every time
I got
he
it
had
all on record.
yeah, right. The Canadian former NHL player that starts punching the dude through him in the lake and says bang every time he punch. That's a really good viral video. This one's way
Yeah,
better.
I couldn't
though.
clean up
You
that
know-
video. I tried to.
No. You share a lot in common with the guy who got thrown in the lake.
What's that mean?
No
I'm
matter
never
how many
aggressive.
times you get beaten down, you keep coming
Yeah,
back up.
Strouf, you're
you
like-
keep fighting.
You're a bad day away from being that guy. Like one bad day, and Strouf's getting
not-
his
I'm
ass
not
beat by an
aggressive like
NHL player.
You are the guy here amongst all of us. Maybe Will in the specific situation would count. that would see somebody that large and go, I got this.
No, I will say I am unbelievably confident in 99.9% of the things I do.
Fisticuffs are where you step it back?
Yep, 100%.
Fair.
I would lose every fight I'd be in.
It's odd that that's the one place you have a level of self-awareness there.
Getting punched in the face, I think that's a good spot
But
to
at
have
least we
self-awareness.
found the line.
Yes. But proverbially, at this point, you've been punched in the face now 3 separate times.
Maybe verbally, but not literally. No, I don't want. Dude, I have a huge nose. Do you know how it would feel?
My help.
Do you know how that would feel if it got broken?
Yeah.
I would. It would be bad for me. So no, getting punched in the face, I don't want to do. All right, one more time. Let's watch the Coldplay video. Listen to Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on.
Either they're having an affair or they're very shy. And I like when he hits the deck, he goes, "Oh boy." That's how you know it's not fake. Is the way Chris Martin reacted to how it was playing out in real time.
The interesting thing is videos like this of something similar happening, of when people realizing they're on the Jumbotron or TV, like you've seen people turn away or like run from each other, but they were never CEOs. And it was never the head of people, which that name makes me so mad. It is such corporate garbage jargon.
The chief people officer, I think, is her official title
That's insufferable.
on the website.
That's not a real title.
Could you imagine, like, since Will just started, like, you're at that company and you've got to go through your training and they talk about, like, don't have relations with the people you work with. And then you see that,
I mean,
like,
the water cooler in the past 2
man.
days has to have been an electric factory.
You think they closed
their
down the
group
office
chat.
or anything?
I would. I'd just feel, you know what, we're just going to take a day, get everybody out of
I
there.
think you've got to avoid, like, hey, you guys are off through the weekend. Take a long weekend. Like, nobody can go productively work for that company. Let's say in I don't know exactly. They're AI, I think. They're like a software company. Whatever they do. Every line of business is doing some form of outreach to other people. If you are a legitimate decision maker at another company and you see an email from Astronomer come in the last 2 days, you're not doing anything with them. So there's no point in making people work the last 2 days. It's an HR nightmare.
It would lead to, if you were somebody who was giving them money, it would lead to a lack of confidence, and you would feel less secure about giving them your money. That's for sure.
Will, who was the MVP of that video?
I think isn't there like a kid in the background that just kind of starts going crazy on
He
camera?
gives the rock on sign
Yeah.
as soon as he hits the deck.
I think it's him. He kind of rules.
Okay.
I think it's the complicit woman.
How red her face gets?
Yes, the third one standing there who knows, oh no, we're caught, and we're all going to have to deal with this.
There's only one reason she was there. I mean, she's in on it. I mean, without a doubt.
I don't know to which degree, but she's in on it on some level.
Well, now she's definitely in on
Yes.
it. I mean, it's as bad as it. I just don't know how you come back from this.
You don't.
Which is unfortunate because I think everybody gets a second, like everybody deserves a second chance, but I don't think it was marriage. Now, if she's actually divorced, which is what the internet is telling me, he's obviously going to get a divorce.
Yes.
Do they end up together? Neither of them are going to have jobs at that company anymore.
That might be difficult.
You think?
There might be a lot of attention on them if they are to be seen in public.
But wouldn't that become like your overnight celebrity? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how you, I don't know how you fix this.
You don't.
Do they have a PR firm? They might have hired one.
Well,
how do you even?
Generally, these statements and stuff would go through HR, but your HR is involved. 2 levels of it. So this is a particularly unique situation here.
I can already tell you what the Halloween costume of the year is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I literally
Yeah.
said that today. I was like, my TikTok and Instagram is going to be filled in about 2 months with couples with that picture.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. That's a great point by you guys. Okay. That's it. We're going to be mature now. I don't know how to
we
pivot
won't.
the Packers in the top 3 battles I have, but I'm going to attempt to do it anyway.
Yeah, maybe you should have thought of this.
Well, Josh, there
I'm
was,
not gonna
there was
help you.
literally no other place to start
Well,
the
we
show.
didn't have to talk about it.
We could have done what we missed for this and saved it for the end.
No chance I was doing that. I needed to give it as much real estate to breathe as possible, and 22 minutes is typically not the length of our final segment.
We could be divorcing the Coldplay topic into the Packers.
That was dumb. That was bad.
I'll stop.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Appreciate you doing that. Okay, here we go. All right, buddy.
Serious faces.
Packers training camp just a few days away in Green Bay, and boy, do I have a list for you. It starts Wednesday. We'll be there beginning at 12 o'clock, just outside of Lambeau Field. The first day of training camp on Wednesday. Special 2-hour edition of Mr. Irrelevant coming up. And ahead of that, I've got 3 battles I've got my eyes on for Packers training camp in 2025. We start with training camp battle number 3. I crushed that.
I think you usually keep an eye on something, not keep your eyes on. Keep your eyes on the prize, but if you keep it, you're just keeping an eye on it.
I'm keeping both eyes on this, though.
Wow.
Because this is the biggest...
Your full undivided attention?
Well, it's divided amongst these 3 things.
Wow.
But,
Sleep with both eyes open.
yeah, right. Like Metallica said in Enter Sandman. Well, they said one eye open, didn't they? Sleep with one eye open.
So then they'd be keeping an eye on it.
All right, let's try this again. Run it back. All right. Packers training camp begins Wednesday, and I can't wait. We're going to be there beginning at 12 o'clock. ESPN Milwaukee, ESPN Madison on YouTube. I've got my eye on 3 battles that will begin to play out on the practice field for the Green Bay Packers on Wednesday. We start with my number 3 position battle I am watching for the Green Bay Packers in training camp. That is the cornerback room as a whole, the cornerback hierarchy. Keyshawn Nixon has self-appointed himself CB1. Carrington Valentine, who's been a really nice story his first 2 years, but is he a really good cornerback? That's what we need to figure out. Will he be your CB1? Nate Hobbs was the offseason addition in free agency. And given how the coaches are talking, it sounds like he could be the top corner in Green Bay. And then you've got a bunch of other guys, right? You've got the 7th-round pick this year, Micah Robinson. You've got a 7th-round pick from last year, and Kalen King. These are guys that are eventually going to have to play, right? There's no way you're getting through the season without a single injury or a single missed game out of any of your cornerbacks. So what does the cornerback hierarchy look like entering week 1 against the Lions? That's a battle for me. You know what your top 3 or who your top 3 are, but who is the guy that's going to be your lockdown guy? Who is the guy that's going to have the highest snap count? That's something I think Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator of the Packers, will have an eye on throughout training camp, is what is the cornerback hierarchy. That's battle number 3 for me. On to battle 2. The wide receiver 1 battle. In my eyes, it's Matthew Golden versus everybody else. You don't invest a first-round pick in a guy if you feel really, really good about your wide receiver depth, like we tried to talk ourselves into in the 2024 NFL season for Green Bay. Matthew Golden, seemingly, it's his job to lose, but also gain at the same time as a first-round pick. So I think it's Matthew Golden versus everybody else. But also, let's keep in mind, Romeo Doubs is entering a contract here. It's the final year of his rookie deal. He's going to be a free agent at the end of next season, likely, if he isn't traded before the season. But he's kind of been all reliable during Jordan Love's tenure as the Packers quarterback. Jaden Reed has been the leading receiver each of the last 2 seasons for this team, but his snap count doesn't indicate that the offense is absolutely in love with him playing every snap. When they only have 2 receivers on the field, usually it's not Jaden Reed. Can he finally take that next step and become the Packers' number 1 receiver? And I don't think Dontavian Wicks is in the wide receiver 1 conversation, but in terms of raw ability and skill set, he's got a lot of the things that you liked when Devontae Adams was coming up. Route running ability, physicality, and of course drop issues, which Devontae Adams also dealt with. So wide receiver 1 battle, Golden versus everybody else, is my number 2 battle to watch in Packers training camp this year. And the number 1 battle, by the surprise to nobody, is the battle at left tackle. Who is going to protect Jordan Love's blind side for the 2nd or 3rd year in a row? Rasheed Walker, the former 7th-round pick, in a contract year, is in a battle for his starting job at left tackle. And he goes up against last year's first-round pick, Jordan Morgan, who didn't play a whole heck of a lot in his rookie season, dealt with some injuries, played a little bit at right guard, but did not carve out a starting role for himself despite being a first-round pick. He will compete for that starting left tackle job in year number 2. So do the Packers prefer to see a former first-round pick or a former 7th-round pick entering a contract year playing left tackle? because that also changes the financial conversation then if Rasheed Walker is to win it again, which, frankly, at this point, before camp begins, I think Rasheed Walker's going to win that job again. So then all of a sudden you have the question of, okay, do we give Walker, or rather Morgan, an entire year to develop and then hope he's just the left tackle of the future? Or do we sign Rasheed Walker at some point during the season? There's also the financial play there. So just to recap, then we'll get Joshy's thoughts. My three battles I've got my eye on in 2025's Packers training camp. Number 3, the cornerback hierarchy. Number 2, wide receiver 1, Golden versus everybody else. And number 1, left tackle, Rasheed Walker versus Jordan Morgan.
There is going to be no CB1. It's going to be attack by committee.
Like they did wide receiver last year?
Yes. There's
Real quick, though. Is that a good thing?
I think you can hide it better on the defensive side than the offensive side.
Sure.
Because I think you can roll coverages, you can help guys out, and you can get creative in coverage where at some point at wide receiver, you get open or you don't, or you catch the ball or you don't. I think they're going to probably rely on Keyshawn Nixon in a proto type of situation where he is going to be the one most frequently around the wide receiver 1 on the opposing teams. But there's a lot of really good, I don't even want to say wide receiver 1s, a lot of good offensive skill players that are going to be facing the Packers. And I don't think, obviously, prime Jair would be great in this situation. But the problem is bigger than they've got one guy that we can't let beat us, because if you focus on Justin Jefferson, well, guess what? There goes Jordan Addison and TJ Hawkinson. If you do Amon-Ra St. Brown, well, there goes Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta. You have to be better than just, we've got one really good guy and hope these guys are fine. So I think it's going to be a full, we are going to throw as much as we can, confuse the offense on what they're seeing and the quarterback in specific, and we're just going to approach it that way. And I think if you're to make a bet, the one who's really going to emerge is Carrington Valentine, just because of his age and ability to still grow. Like, Keyshawn Nixon has gotten better progressively every single year.
He has.
When it comes to playing corner. And I think that's not just like, we shouldn't just discount that, but certain guys just have certain peaks. And I don't know how much more Keyshawn Nixon has. I have no idea what to expect from Nate Hobbs. But I'm going to rely on Gutekunst and company that they saw something there that maybe the rest of the league didn't see the same way. Wide receiver, it's Matthew Golden, and anything short of him by the end of the season being like the leading target getter and snap getter, I think is worthy of disappointment. He doesn't need to be like all-time rookie. We don't need to see Malik Neighbors out there, but a guy who is a focal point of the offense and somebody who's playing the vast majority of the snaps on offense is sort of what I expect and I hope for him to be at. I don't need 1,600 yards and 8 touchdowns. It's just, can we get a guy over 1,000?
That'd be great.
I'd love that.
Been a while.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Is Devontae Adams the last one, or did Lazard get it? Lazard didn't get 1,000 yards, did he?
I don't think so.
Oh, look.
Yeah, get that answer for me. The last 1,000-yard receiver for the Packers. I would guess it's probably Devontae Adams.
I differ. I think it's Jordan Morgan's position, and even if Rasheed Walker outplays him, it behooves the team for Jordan Morgan to play there.
Yeah, I hear you on that, and you can obviously make the case the fastest way to grow a left tackle is to give him a lot of bullets.
Yes.
Right? And hopefully, he's a first-round talent. At least they viewed him that way.
The only thing here is if Jordan Morgan is so far behind that they have no option and like, we're putting our offense in danger here with this guy at left tackle as it pertains to Jordan Morgan, like, they're not going to pay Rasheed Walker. They don't want him to be the left tackle. Mm-hmm. They have a young guy under control that they want to be there. I think Rasheed Walker's probably going to end up being the best swing tackle in the NFL.
Devontae in 2021 was the last 1,000 receiver. It's actually 1,500 yards, 1,553, according to the Mr. Irrelevant research department of Tiny Hands Hunter Vaughn.
Yeah, everyone keeps talking about, and I did see, was it our pal Ricky who tweeted out that they were working on an extension for him. That would be surprising to me.
For Rashid? Yeah,
Yes.
agreed. I did see that.
That would be kind of shocking. And then, like, at that point, I guess you're moving Jordan Morgan to right guard, which people are going to spend a lot of time talking about, well, you drafted this guy in the first round to be a tackle, now he's a right guard. Guards and centers get drafted in the first round. If you're good, you're good. And that's what I want on the offensive line. I don't really care where you play.
And we've talked about this many times before, but the Packers' philosophy on their offensive line is they want guys who can play everywhere, right? And that's ultimately why Elton Jenkins is no longer your left guard. He's your center this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it a giant indictment on Gutekunst and company if Jordan Morgan doesn't play left tackle and then ends up being like a high level starter, not Pro Bowl, All Pro. But
if Jordan Morgan becomes your starting right guard over Sean Ryan this year, who's also in a contract year, as is Zach Tom, hopefully the Zach Tom one gets figured out in training camp. I don't think that's an indictment on Goody. I actually almost view that as a compliment to Goody because he drafted somebody in the 7th round that is that good of a left tackle.
Yes, yeah. It's hard to parse out what exactly they're trying to do there. The one thing I know for sure is they are trying to skimp at all 5 positions on the offensive line. Aside from Aaron Banks, he obviously got all that money, but everyone else they are trying to nickel and dime. To the furthest extent, because by now a Zach Tom deal should be done.
The Zach Tom deal should be done, and the Elton Jenkins drama should be over. Right?
He just wants guaranteed money.
It's not even. He just wants the money on his contract that he's going to get paid anyway. He just wants it guaranteed.
Right, which is totally fair for someone his age doing something for the team, and the next contract for him will likely be lower because he's playing center.
If we get to day 1 of camp and neither of those are done, I wouldn't expect to see either of them.
No,
the Zach Tom one, he said he wouldn't hold out. That's a bad move by him.
I think there's a degree of goodwill by them.
Until he rolls his ankle.
Yeah, but it's like you have to worry about major ligament damage. Like anything short of that, you're sort of like you can just do I'm not going to participate in team, but I will be here for individual and, unit work, but I'm not going to risk someone rolling on me.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of it. And I'm sorry, but until I get that, that's how you probably is a fine line you can cut.
Mm-hmm.
Of I'll be here, I'll participate, but when it comes to people running at me, I'm not going to get my ankle rolled up on and then damage my knee before I even get any real money in the NFL.
Exactly. So, did I miss any battles off the top of your head?
I'm trying to think of Jason's list. I think there's going to be... You're going to have to figure out what the defensive line rotation looks like.
Yeah, so I was reading an article in Sports Illustrated by my pal Jacob Westendorf, who I actually talked to last night. He was up here at the, who was that, Five Finger Death Punch, I think was at the Pfizer Forum. He texted me and he's like, hey, I'm in your neck of the woods. I've been to a few rock shows with Jacob Westendorf, but he wrote over on Sports Illustrated today some of his top 5 battles. And he wrote something about Lucas Van Ness in the defensive line. I didn't realize Lucas Van Ness has never technically started an NFL game. Did you know that?
I did not. That doesn't shock me.
But I guess after they traded Preston Smith, I would have assumed he was the starter, but that must mean that Kingsley and Agbare or Brenton Cox were the starters?
At some point, yeah. I think it was Kingsley, right? It had to have been.
Yeah. So almost like his career at Iowa where he never started a game. That means Lucas Van Ness, and by the way, in terms of snap counts, he was the second defensive end starter last year. But in technicality of the actual GS stat, game started, he has not started a game since high school.
Yes.
Isn't that fascinating?
It is.
For a first round,
probably not a good thing.
For a first round pick and a guy who will start this year.
Not that we know it, but there's a chance that he maybe didn't get some starts in like a playoff game or something. So it could go well into backwards into his high school career too.
No, I mean, dude, he went to Iowa. He was starting on both sides of the ball, probably.
I don't know, because I've had games where literally kid from Verona, Trey Poteet, 4-star corner athlete. He technically didn't start a couple of games for Verona, because the way that worked. Sometimes that just happens, especially if he is playing on both sides of the ball.
First team All-State honors his senior year of high school. I would guess he started.
I know.
I guess I don't know, though. We don't know.
Again, I've seen.
Maybe that's why he doesn't start, is he's never started a game.
He's just better coming off the bench later on. Well.
What do they call those? Spark plugs?
Yeah.
Isn't that usually the
It's
term
a
they use in
faulty
basketball?
spark plug at this point, but.
True that, brother.
I don't have his full stats, but in 3 games in 1920, he had 2 sacks as a senior.
That can't be his full stats. He went first team All-State.
Yeah, well.
High school stats could be tough to find. Unless you're like a hardo Texas
tough.
school, yeah.
An enforcing defenseman, Van Ness racked up 235 minutes in penalties over 3 high school seasons. 235 minutes.
Playing hockey?
He was a hockey
Maybe?
guy. Or are you looking up the wrong Van Ness?
No, it's on Packers.com. Oh, yeah, he was. Hockey. You got it. That's where he got the nickname Hercules. I'm fascinated by this dude. He's got to bring it this year.
I'm not. I'm not fascinated by him at all.
Well, I'm fascinated by how non-productive he's been. Unproductive?
Unproductive would be the word you're looking for. He's been a NFL nobody as a first round.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would agree.
He one-on-one when a team was backed up on their goal line, their own goal line, and he was going to get a safety. I believe it was it the Seahawks? Whoever they played last year, they one-on-one blocked him with a tight end. They said, yes, we're passing the ball, and yes, this could ruin the potential of this game, but we feel good enough with this guy on that guy.
Yeah. And it worked.
Worked great. Flying colors.
Josh,
he didn't move the guy.
What does Van Ness have to do this year for you to get any interest back in him?
7.5, 8 sacks.
So he's got to do what Rashawn Gary did last year in terms of sack numbers.
Yes, and I will not be counting Lane Johnson not getting out of his stance, even though it'll count on the stats sheet.
So it's got to be 7.5 to 8 real sacks.
Yes.
Okay,
He has to actually beat somebody.
Yes, correct. The guy can't be turning around and looking behind him as you're sacking the quarterback. That can't be the thing there.
Josh, we're going to get the story swap after we talk Brewers. But you did not print this out, is my understanding?
No.
Okay.
Not that interested.
Saving the environment. Do you hate doing this show?
No, it took me a while. I had to put it together. I mean, you have a phone.
Well, I got bad news. Outlook is down.
You have 2 monitors,
Yeah,
a cell phone.
You emailed it to me, and Outlook is just crashing
that's
at the
too
moment.
bad.
So
That's
I'd be
tough.
reading both. Oh, here we go. Now it's back. We're good. All right, but I do want to talk Brewers quick because they get back to action tonight in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. They are the hottest team in the NL, second hottest team in baseball. They've won 7 in a row coming out of the All-Star break, only behind the Red Sox, who have won 10 in a row. And I guess I'm just curious on the pulse check because we talked about it a little bit on Wednesday, and Josh, you said it, right? Like the Cubs are a very good baseball team. I'm not going to deny that. They're a really good baseball team. They may still win the NL Central, but the Brewers do have the 3rd best record in the NL and are only a game back of the Cubs. And this is a crucial series as we get going in the second half. You're 96 games in, so whatever quick math tells you, 66 games left. I'm nervous they'll lose the Series A, but B, they go to Seattle. Like, do they get off on the wrong foot? They're a young team. They're coming off a break, so the momentum's slowed down a little bit. It's not that I worry whether or not they're going to make the playoffs. I think that's a foregone conclusion. I just am so passionate about how good their rotation is and how good their pitching is that I think not only can they make playoffs, but they can win this division and become a real contender. I truly believe they're that good this year. Now, come July 31st, I'm hoping they're making a move. They're acquiring a bat of some sort. Andrew Vaughn continues to be, as hot as he's been. Yelich continues to be really good. Chourio continues to be good offensively. I think that's the makeup of a World Series good team. But I do worry this series could make me go, okay, maybe I should take a pause on saying all that. Because the Dodgers are that good. Undeniably that good. And they're coming out of the break, rested up. They're a team who obviously won the World Series last year and who just got swept a week and a half ago by this very team. Am I being nervous for no reason? I think that's what we're ultimately getting to, yeah.
Yes. You guys on your show have had a segment called Brewers Math.
On KBN, yeah.
Jared joins the program. He does a very good job of sort of detailing the lack of importance of individual games and even series in terms of the grand scheme. If the Brewers go into LA and win one singular game, they then have the season series over them.
That's true.
Which is something that the vast majority of teams in the MLB won't be able to say. That's how big sweeping them was.
Yep.
Things happen in baseball. The better team loses a lot. Even the team who plays better on an individual day
loses sometimes
because one missed pitch results in a 3-run home run and your 2-run lead is gone and you're not able to claw back from that point. I don't think you can put too much stock into any individual series the same way it was a bad idea to be too worried about the series against the Yankees. Now, I would point out that the main factor of that series going as poorly as it did is not part of the big league club as we speak, Nestor Cortez. I heard he's going to be making a comeback soon, and I hope they either DFA him or trade him immediately. But you can't zero in too much and get your hopes until the playoffs. I don't want you to be stressed about any singular series.
Yes, sir.
Unless there's like a 6-7 game losing streak, and then you go,
hold on.
Okay, we got to stop.
Can we just make one change to what you just said? I'm allowed to stress when they play the Cubs.
Sure. Yes, that's fair.
The other 28 teams, though, I'm good with.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yeah, you're actively in a battle for the division. You can stress, you can get excited, you can live and die by every pitch that happens in the remaining Cub series.
I want to enjoy summer as much as I can the rest of summer. But let me tell you, I cannot wait to fast forward to July 28th. Because that's game 1 against the Cubs. It goes Cubs, day off, which is also the trade deadline. That's going to be an awesome week. Packers training camp will be underway. That's going to be a great sports week for me. Or a horrible sports week for me. One or the other.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for it. I'm very excited for it. But excited to stay up late tonight. It's like a 9:10 first pitch, is it?
That's
9:10. You'll
be asleep. Or are you getting after it tonight?
I'm getting after it a bit tonight.
Are you? Good for you.
It's a friend of the show and station and all of ours, Eric Name's birthday.
Well, his birthday was on Saturday. I was with him in Vegas.
Correct. Birthday celebration.
Gotcha.
It's being held because now he's back from Vegas.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Got to have a few drinky poos with him on his birthday.
We're gonna be having a few drinky poos tonight.
As you should. Should celebrate that man. Works hard. He deserves the limelight. A great article by him, by the way. One-on-one conversation with Bucks GM John Horst in The Athletic this week.
Yeah, I don't know, even as big of waves as it's made, I don't think it's big enough for what we read in there.
I think it proves the point that the Giannis commentary is real. Right? It proves that John Horst, he effectively said, and I'm sub-quoting, let me figure it out. Paraphrasing, thank you.
There you go.
I'm paraphrasing what John Horst said to Eric Name, but it was essentially like, I did everything in my power, and we'll see if it's enough.
Yeah.
To keep you honest.
Expressly, I don't know.
Yeah. So, you're right.
I've seen people also try and say they were talking about their ability to win a championship. I'm not speaking for Eric Name here, but that's not what John Horst was answering.
Right.
And I think any other reading of that is you putting your head in the sand and hoping that's the reading. Because if you take the context of the question and what he's being asked, it doesn't really make sense for him to answer that way if he's talking about championships.
And
for
Horst
once
isn't
on the honest situation.
Yeah, I was also going to say Horst isn't the type of guy to act to hear a question and not actually try and answer it and go like a whole nother direction.
Yes.
Like he's going to answer that question. I've listened to enough of his stuff.
You can think it's still speculation and all that, but there's more here than I think any of us want to accept.
Just one piece of NBA news is Damian Lillard yesterday signs a 3-year deal back in Portland. It should maybe signal to Giannis, hey, grass ain't always greener, bro.
And I also think if you are superstar, internationally recognized athlete who's hyper competitive, when you're in Greece on vacation, the idea of going back to the Bucks after all that's happened is like I don't need them. I'll do this somewhere else. And then you get in front of John Horst, you get in front of some of your teammates, and you look around and go, do I really want to ruin what I have going on here in Milwaukee?
I would, I agree with you on that. And I, as I've said kind of this whole time, is I still believe, at least in the immediate, right, next year, especially with all the news now, Miles Turner, Cole Anthony, et cetera, everybody, Gary Harris, everybody that's been brought in, everybody that's been brought back. I still believe that Giannis's best opportunity to win a championship this upcoming season, 25-26, is in Milwaukee. Because if he gets traded anywhere, you are ripping a ton of assets away from that team. Now, that doesn't mean he wouldn't have a better chance in the future to win there. I just think in the immediate, 25-26,
I think his
best opportunity is in Milwaukee.
I think you can make an argument, and I don't know who the team is, how they get it done, how they match salaries, all that nonsense. I think if a team somehow has the assets and young players enough, you could probably work in the margins with a Giannis plus.
Yeah, but it'd have to be a team that's already a contender, right?
Yes.
So then it becomes like, is it the Thunder?
Right.
And do they trade a ton of their younger players? Who, by the way, they just signed to a bunch of massive deals.
And I don't think they work together, but I think a Giannis and SGA would probably figure out how to be pretty successful.
It'd be so fun. Good. If we go... I'll just throw this out there. If the NBA and they may be, I don't know if they announced this or not, but I know it's been floated for years. If they go to the World versus U.S. All-Star game, we would see SGA and Giannis together. SGA is Canadian. And Jokic, by the way, on that team. They need to go to that format.
With the Dame stuff too, quick, I just want to remind everyone that when Dame got traded from Portland to Milwaukee, the national conversation was, Portland did him dirty. Like, you can't send him to Milwaukee. He wanted to go to Miami. Well, he had the chance to sign with Miami, and he didn't take it. So I don't think that was really the situation.
Did anybody expect him to sign this offseason? I thought he was going to wait until next year.
There were conversations because, it's kind of that, I can double dip, get paid by the Bucks to rehab with a different team. Like, you still want to get that money this year if you can.
And the only team that it made sense to rehab with, given that he rehabs in Portland, Oregon, is the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Certainly the team that made the most sense for him. So there you have it. Okay, let's get to this. It's time for Story Swap. Josh and I print off odd news stories.
Or sometimes print to PDF and email to you.
You want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Do you need time to pull it up? Should I read it?
All right. I haven't read it yet, but...
Well, I just start then. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. A Wisconsin nurse who amputated a patient's frostbitten foot without authorization and planned to use it as a ghoulish display in her family's taxidermy shop. What the hell did I just read? Was given a sweetheart plea deal in which she'll serve no time in prison and pay just $443 in court costs. Mary Kay Brown, 40, pleaded no contest to a misdemeanor charge of negligently abusing a 62-year-old patient at a Spring Valley Senior Living and Healthcare campus in 2022 for the rogue surgical procedure. The patient died days later, though no definitive link was made between his death and the amputation, according to a criminal complaint. She was initially charged with intentionally causing great bodily harm and mayhem. Whoa. And physically abusing an elder person, but the felonies, which could have carried a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison, were dismissed after pleading guilty to lesser charges. The victim, Doug McFarland, was being treated for severe frostbite in both feet after suffering a fall in his home. His feet had become necrotic. Got that right?
Yeah.
Remaining attached to his leg only by a tendon and 2 inches of skin. That's gross. And he was moved to hospice care, according to KSTP. After cutting off his right foot, which she referred to as a mummy feet, she told nursing home colleagues she planned to preserve the foot and display it in a taxidermy shop owned by her family. Wow. All right, a lot to unpack there. This wasn't that illegal, which shocks me.
Yes, and I think what was determined is the foot was in such a state that it was reasonable to argue there was neglect leading to the lack of removal.
But she's not a surgeon.
She's not. But the singular tendon and 2 inches of skin would lead you to believe the foot was more off than on.
Yeah, that's fair.
But also, as we know, just removing feet in your own procedure, frowned upon.
Oh, really?
And it feels a little Wisconsin woman, a play on Florida man there, to have she joked about putting in her taxidermy shop.
That's the most Wisconsin.
That's where it really gets out of hand. Because, like, for all I know, this could be something that the media has turned into something it wasn't, and this was actually an act of humanity versus a rogue psycho. But it does feel pretty big of a deal to just decide you're going to remove someone's foot. And I believe this was found out because after the gentleman had passed, when they, started evaluating the body, they realized there was just a foot tossed in that was no longer attached to the person. And they were like, well, hey, what happened here? There's nothing in his medical records about a foot being removed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, he doesn't have a foot.
Yeah.
Oh, my good Lord. That's dark, crazy, and insane. Mine is the exact opposite. Here's your story swap for Friday, July 18th.
I don't know how to pronounce the name of the city.
That's why I left it in. I was going to remove it.
But it's the United Arab Emirates. The Humble Road rumble strip, used around the world to alert drifting drivers to potential hazards or lane departures, can play Beethoven on a mountain highway in the far reaches of the United Arab Emirates. This is interesting.
I thought you were going to hate this.
No, this is interesting because as far as I know, I've driven on roads that had similar things and sang similar tunes in Oklahoma.
Really?
Yes. And I didn't realize what was going on in my car at first until I was able to differentiate that they were making specific sounds.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to read this and say Beethoven sucks or something like that.
He's the greatest composer to ever live. For nearly a kilometer, a half a mile in parentheses, along the E84 highway, also known as the Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Road, motorists in the right-hand lane coming into the city of Fujairah can play Ludwig van Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, where the rubber meets the road. The Street of Music, of course, is an art project that exists in some countries, but we wanted this project to be in our country, said Ali Abdad El Hafadaiti, the director of Fine Arts Academy. Oh, wow, the Fine Arts Academy engaged in this, which recently wrapped up the project in collaboration with the local authorities. I think the project is focused on spreading the art culture. I think that's a little translation issue happening there on spreading the art culture.
Yeah.
The combination of music in our lives and our normal lives, he added. For drivers coming into this city, the rumble strip initially looks like a larger rectangular version of the dash lines separating the three-lane highway. That's until you hit the first block, and the grooves of the road combine with the speed of the vehicle to make music.
All right, I'm pulling the plug. This, I thought you were going to hate this, and you immediately said, oh, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting to me when you take something such as infrastructure, such an afterthought,
yep,
and say, let's get creative with it. It does seem to me as potentially dangerous.
Agreed.
If people aren't ready for it. But I believe when I saw this happen in the United States, they put up signs like calling it like a musical highway or something, or a musical stretch.
There's a stretch of road on Route 66 in New Mexico that plays America the Beautiful.
Wow.
You know what? I drove Route 66, and I was driving in New Mexico, so that's where it happened. I was driving from Oklahoma into New Mexico.
Can I ask what you were doing down there?
I drove, I was driving, I did a road trip when I quit my previous job before to this. I was going back to school. And I said, I've got a little bit of time here in the summer, and I've got some cash saved up. I'm going to go just visit all my friends. So I visited people in Oklahoma, in New Mexico, in Arizona, in California, in Utah,
friends everywhere.
In Colorado.
Yeah. That's kind of badass.
Okay. Now, I looked this up, and in the U.S., there's a stretch of Avenue K in Lancaster, California, that will do William Tell Overture.
No kidding.
So then, Route 66, America the Beautiful. And then in Alabama, the University of Auburn put the Auburn fight song, War Eagle, into
awful.
a road.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I will say this though. I've been seeing videos of this UAE one on TikTok, and the first thing I thought when I saw it was Josh is going to hate this, and boy, am I wrong.
Well, I like music.
You like Beethoven, apparently.
There's other countries that do this too.
Yeah, if it was like something really corny, but it's hard to argue against Beethoven.
It's true. I think it's far-reaching, wide-reaching enough that
What song? If there was a song to be put on a highway in Wisconsin, what would it be?
Roll Out the Barrel.
The first one that comes to mind is "Blister in the Sun" by the Violent Femmes.
Sure, Violent Femmes. I was gonna go the direction of "Roll Out the Barrel" is a great pull by Hunter.
A polka song. I'm not going to be able to name any of them, but that would make a lot of sense.
"Roll Out the Barrel" is a polka song.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, that one seems a little.
By the way, Mike, this is the second time I brought her up today. My girlfriend thought "Roll Out the Barrel" was done at every MLB park, and I had to explain to her that polka was a Wisconsin thing.
And Brewers Barrel.
Brewers specifically, right? Yeah. But
Argentina, they do La Cucaracha. I'm into this.
That's
now.
fun. All right, Hunter, here's what we're going to do. I want you to, because you are awesome at stuff like this. You're great at research. You're great at finding out things. I want you to figure out who the hell we would contact to come up with this idea. Like, is it just as simple as the Wisconsin Department of Transportation?
I have an in with the DOT. I've
you?
spoken to them. They've been on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Well,
okay, this is
I
good.
think you got to use that contact.
When we discussed zipper merges and how people incorrectly use them.
I just want to point out that "Roll Out the Barrel" does suggest drinking, and I don't know that driving while playing "Roll Out the Barrel" is the brightest idea by us.
Well, we could bring that up with the
figure out what the
DOT.
song should be.
They might just be like, you know what? It's just such a huge part of the state. Maybe it makes sense.
Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah.
My Ford Focus, just like.
I do think you're relying a little heavy on the traditional sound of the rumble strips when it's a warning of, hey, you're on the shoulder or crossing over the center line. If I remember correctly, it pitched more like music, and I don't know if Hunter could.
That's correct.
Yeah. So like with I think it has something to do with obviously the depth and how close they are to each other. That it actually sounds more musical than the,
Sure.
It would be closer to the actual sound, which is what. And it's also, if you go too fast or too slow, you're not going to get the right thing. So it's also like...
Gotta go the right speed.
It's going to also then incentivize people to go the correct speed limit.
If I found a video, I can play this quick. This is the America the Beautiful one.
Hopefully I can hit this.
Oh, it does pitch up. Huh. We just need Bob Kozlowski now.
Who's Bob?
You don't know who Bob Kozlowski is? He's the dude that sings God Bless America. Got all the Brewers games. He's an employee of AmFam Field. Guy's a legend.
Guest relations, I believe. He's got some great ties.
I think that's absolutely right. Yeah, he does. Sure does. Okay, do want to hit one more topic, and we're running low on time. So let's get to what we missed, what we learned. It's presented by Door County Distillery, locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits. Made locally in beautiful Door County. If you're heading to Door County this summer, whether you got a wedding, taking the sweetheart up, whatever you're doing, it's a really fun, hour or two trip to Door County Distillery. Obviously, Hunter, Josh, and myself, we just did it a couple weeks back. Do the tour, do the tastings, check out the exclusive product, go sit on the patio. They have music every weekend. It's just an awesome place to stop just north of Sturgeon Bay. And if you're not, Door County Distillery is delicious. And it's connected to Door Peninsula Winery. Just actually cracked open the bottle of Cabernet last night that I picked up at Door County Winery, Door Peninsula Winery, connected to Door County Distillery last night with dinner. It's the best, though. Whiskeys, rums, gins, vodkas, brandies for your old fashions, whatever you need, Door County Distillery has it covered, and they're available statewide wherever you get great liquor, grocery stores, liquor stores, all the in-betweens. Just check out their website. Make it easier for you. What are you looking for? Are you looking for the Rock Island rum? You're looking for the cherry brandy infused with local Door County cherries. Use their search tool, type in your zip code, click the product, find the retailer nearest you at their website, doorcountydistillery.com. All right, with training camp starting, I've been fascinated by a story that we've just missed, and that is the second round pick thing. So only 11 of 32 second-round picks from this year's NFL draft have signed, and one of the 21 that hasn't signed is Anthony Belton, Packers second-round pick. I don't know what's happening. They want more guaranteed money? What's happening?
Boy, do I love you bringing a topic up with no understanding of it.
Well, you're smart.
Best part of this show.
No, I think you guys don't realize how this show works, right?
But no piece of curiosity got to you that said maybe I could look into this myself and discuss it intelligently?
I asked Brad Nortman. The issue, he didn't know what I was talking about.
Well,
sounds like he needs a better producer to keep him a little more informed when he's doing a daily show.
Well, we haven't used it as a topic yet, so I've just been reading into it because, like, I saw Adam.
We haven't been reading.
Well, a little bit. Okay, all right, good point. Fair point.
He's been skimming Twitter X.
Right. So I saw on Twitter, Hunter's right on that Schefter tweeted something like another second round domino has fallen, and I was like, what does that mean? So I looked it up, and at this point, I think there was only like 7 signed. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize this was happening. And I thought all the Packers draft picks were already signed, not realizing Anthony Belton hasn't been yet. So my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is so the first round picks, they went through this a couple years ago, where they want more guaranteed money. The first round picks, they're going to be in the league.
This was quite a while ago. That first round, I believe, when the Sam Bradford thing happened.
Oh, that's 2000. Don't tell me. 2007.
Owner's reaction to the Jamarcus Russell as well, and how much he got and then never played, and then Sam Bradford held out.
So Bradford must have been 08.
Yeah.
I think Bradford was 08 then.
Because they got such large amounts of money for never having played a snap. So they tiered the first round draft picks in terms of what you can earn. There's a total amount, but as part of that of tamping down the overall price of some of those players, they all made that money guaranteed. So every first round pick is guaranteed. And now what has happened because of these early second round picks that got signed, and I believe Jaden Higgins and Carson Schweichinger.
Oh, good name.
The 34th pick overall got $11.7 million guaranteed, which was precedent breaking for a second round pick getting that money. I believe a 33rd overall pick has gotten fully guaranteed, but that was like you're as close to a first round pick as possible. Yeah. We're going to do right by you because we do believe you are a first round pick level player. What changed it was Jaden Higgins also then getting it guaranteed. And since then, basically every second round pick has been holding out saying, if he gets guaranteed, I also want
So
guaranteed.
I have a dumb question, and we might not know the answer to this, but I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so they're all dumb questions. Do you think they made like a pact? Do you think all the second round picks are in a group chat together? And they're like, hey, we got to do this.
This is classic bargaining within like a union.
Okay.
That person got it. I am equally as deserving. So they're trying to, and does the NFLPA probably have some say in this and influence? I'm sure. But it benefits you and everyone else to push for more guaranteed money. That's just the simple nature of it. It makes you less dispensable, and it guarantees more money in your bank account. The interesting thing here is Nick Iwaminori, the kid from South Carolina, the safety, he also got fully guaranteed.
I saw that.
Which changes it a little bit and sort of pushes it down the line. The interesting thing right after that is Quinshawn Judkins, who was recently arrested for domestic violence. He might not get signed, period. Or end up on some sort of, list or whatever it is. And then what's happening now is it seems to be, as you go down the draft board and the picks, they are guaranteeing more based on a percentage-wise. So at 42 overall, Mason Taylor signed a 4-year, $10 million contract with 91% guaranteed. Right after that, Alfred Collins signed a 10.3 for $9 million. So it's basically like they're trying to get at least 80% of that guaranteed.
Okay, I got it. Okay, this makes sense to me.
Yeah, so it's basically the players' efforts to get more guaranteed money. And as it keeps happening down the draft board, basically every pick is looking above them and going, well, if he gets it, why don't I get it?
Why don't I get it? Okay,
Yes.
sure, that makes sense. So now I guess my head goes to, is there a possibility where Wednesday rolls around, we have our first training camp practice, and there is no Elton Jenkins, Zach Tom, or Anthony Belton on the practice?
Certainly possible.
Fun!
Because if you know anything about the Packers,
Cheap!
and they aren't going to set new contract precedents.
Wow.
They aren't going to be...
The one with Belton, though, it seems like it's being set for them.
Yes. His case for holding out becomes less and less as all the guys in front of him sign for less than 100% guaranteed. Like, that's just the nature of... because right after him, Trey Harris has agreed to a deal, and Ozzie Trapillo, the offensive tackle for the Bears, he got 72% guaranteed, and that's 2 picks after him. The Trey Harris numbers have not come out. So you would imagine Anthony Belton would probably be at a 75% guaranteed. But the Bears, what they did is they gave the first 2 years fully guaranteed of that contract, which I think is probably what's holding up Anthony Belton's getting done.
What's your favorite Coldplay song?
I don't have one.
Hunter, what's your favorite Coldplay song?
I don't know, man.
When it's
I don't
over?
really listen to Coldplay.
Oh, come on. You see how much those tickets are going for in Madison?
Coldplay's mom rock.
Yeah, but it's good mom rock. Coldplay's a great band. They've been relevant forever.
That is true. I didn't realize. My wife and I, we were watching ER for the first time, and like that was a show from the 90s, and all of a sudden Yellow started playing, and I'm like, this is like 97. I didn't realize that they'd been around that long.
I believe Coldplay's resurgence in this tour is largely fueled by people watching Netflix. And what show were they on most frequently? Was it the hospital procedure?
Grey's Anatomy.
General Hospital?
Grey's Anatomy.
I said General
The same thing
Hospital.
that Frey was on.
Yeah.
To say General Hospital is a
Hospital
soap
wasn't that
opera
show,
on like one of the cable channels.
Yeah, I meant Grey's Anatomy. That's what I meant. Okay. All one and the same. All right.
Coldplay's mom music.
Well, enjoy Coldplay if you're going to it at
They
Camp
listen
Randall
to it at
Stadium.
Target.
Cheapest ticket, $440.
Don't take your
right now to
side
get a
piece.
store at Camp Randall Stadium. Don't take your side piece. That's the advice I'd give you.
440 smackers?
And you're up on the upper deck too. $700
Yeah,
to
'cause
be
when
down
I-
on
when
the
I-
field.
It's not Taylor Swift out there.
No, but
No,
I heard
but
they
she-
do put on a phenomenal
Like
show.
these rookies, she reset the market, and now every band thinks that this is what it should
Wow.
That's
Well done by Hunter.
Now, as in this situation, you're comparing me to an owner because I'm the one paying the money, and I don't like where this puts me.
All right, we'll talk to you on Monday beginning at 12:30. Reminder, Wednesday we're on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee from 12 until 2. Josh, are you coming to Green Bay?
Yeah.
You'll be up there. Mm-hmm. All right, great. Me and Josh will be with you in Green Bay from 12 to 2 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee on Wednesday.
You might appear on or after the show with a boo-boo, some injuries.
I might?
I signed you up for something. You're not aware of it. It's still in the early stages, but
You're going to tell me, right?
eventually.
No, you got to tell me now.
He has to
No.
pass rush against Bulaga.
Bulaga won't be there, I don't
No.
think. But Taus
Dang.
will be.
No.
Is it football related?
Tangentially.
And it might hurt me?
Well, it could result in a slight injury.
Oh, is this me catching punts from Nortman?
No, even though that's a great idea.
You're not going to tell me?
No, we'll
You got to
find
tell
out.
me. No, I can't walk into this blind, Josh. That's not fair. I'm not going to do it otherwise.
Do you know how to ride a bike?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. That's embarrassing. I'm 26. You're making me stand in line?
Yes.
I don't own a bike.
Maybe there's people we know that might have a very
Bro,
small child.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. Ooh, how did you sign me up for this?
I might have suggested it in a meeting.
With who?
The decision makers around here.
And they were like, hell yeah, Strouf's got to go stand in line.
It's not you standing in line because you participating in that would inherently take it away from a child.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's not what.
And then
want
everybody
to
be like, hey, bozo, go away. So I just have to ride a bike.
yes.
Okay.
There might be a bike that reaches maybe your knee level, and there might be an obstacle course.
Okay, I'm down for this. Is there a helmet?
We could get you one.
All right. I got to run. This is another long show. Josh inherently just makes the show run long. I like it. Thanks, Joshy. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Hunter. Will disappeared 45 minutes ago. That'll do it for us. We're back with you Monday at 12:30. Looking forward to talking to you then. Enjoy Coldplay. Enjoy your weekend. Go Brewers. Talk to you Monday at 12:30. Peace.